What's poppin', you guys? That's right. You are now linked into House of Harlem Studio, and I am your host, Kia L. And to the right of me is my host, Shaka. And you already know, Waji will be in the building somewhere, somehow, someday, and sometime. I hope you guys can hear me. I hope you guys can hear me. Well, as usual, there's news all around the world, yes. And of course, I'm here to give you my commentary of it all, whether it's good or bad, indifferent, but most importantly, the truth. That's all that needs to happen. That's all that needs to happen. In the meantime, we have a bundle of joy. Yes, people are going crazy. Celebrity gossip, celebrity news. Let me get it out the way. A bundle of joy. Rihanna, I so love her, is having her first bundle of joy. Is breaking the internet. Drake is going crazy. And what's next? You know what I'm saying? I feel like she should have been my baby mother, and I can't even get nobody pregnant. But on that note, as usual, we have a ding dong of a president, right? This administration is kind of interesting to me, and I am eager to see how everything is going to fold out with the new elections coming up, right? I think it starts running by next year, right? How many years? 2024. All right, we in 22. Yeah, well, the 23 is when they start to get things right. They start to figure out who's going to be running up, who's whatever. So I'm interested to see how that's going to go. In the meantime, I feel
Yeah,
like
something like
inflation is
that.
still happening. I'm sorry.
So yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Yes, something like that. So 2024 we'll find out who will be the president, but I'm interested in knowing who's going to be running for president. Who's going to be running? These last past 2+ years has been very interesting, and we still got some more interestingness. I'm creating these new words to go. Shout out to the chat room. Shout
Yeah,
out to
big up to the chat.
everybody.
Know what I mean?
Listen, we are working, really getting to the bag. I'm proud of myself, Ron. I have to pat myself on the shoulder because right now, like we're here. We're here. I want to give a special shout out to Shaka. You know, he does eat once a day, but it's all good. It's his life. It's what he want to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not complaining. My lighting is not well. I feel like my lighting needs to be fixed. Anywho, Whoopi Goldberg has been suspended. We got to talk about that.
Yeah, what in the world is on her mind? What type of time is she on, yo?
Whoopi Goldberg has been suspended. It's unfortunate, but I don't know. I feel like those people are are in a certain cult, in a certain group of people. You know, it's just her time. It's her time. She had to do what she had to do. Another interesting topic that I want to speak about, Jeff Bezos, how you pronounce his name, is seeking to have uh, a historic. It don't even matter if it's historic or not. Dutch bridge dismantled in order to fit his 450,000 million. I said 450 million super yacht across the goddamn bridge. Like, I don't believe that story. I just refuse to believe that someone wants to tear down an historic bridge, a bridge, period, to fit your yacht through there. He got me effed up on that one. He got me messed up. Shaka. Shaka.
Yeah, yeah.
What else are we going to be talking about today?
Uh,
What else is a hot topic? Now, we already know that go ahead. You just take forever, so but go ahead. They'll wait. They'll wait until you ready
Yeah.
to say one word, one
What's
syllable.
popping, y'all? You know what I mean? We out here in these streets. Now, what we have dang, see just I forgot. I'll get back to that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Whoops.
That's me. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think we spoke about the National Guard being in the hospitals. I wanted to know, have you guys heard any news in regards to that? A lot of people are saying, "Oh, well, they've been here." Yeah, I say they've been here since more so since 9/11. But one thing is for certain that they were not in the hospitals. Now, you know how this thing is unfolding with the Rona, right? Y'all know that the court order at the Supreme Court stated that, no more with this mass situation. It's in appeals right now, but obviously our beautiful, beautiful governor and mayor is moving forward, and they have a new date for now the city workers to get vaccinated. I believe their new date is February 7th. So I want to see how this plays out because it's during a time where you have a court order, a plethora of more information is coming out. They're claiming they have some new goddamn other variant, excuse my language. And this thing is a circus at this point. It's a complete circus. All of a sudden, you have the president of the United States now trying to just take off the mandates. All of a sudden, I don't know if you guys heard, but we're gonna have to speak about that. Like now, what? No more mandates out here? What in the hotcakes is going on? There has been a lot of crime in New York City. The crime rate is going really, really high. So I am wondering why all of a sudden the crime rate is just skyrocketed. I don't even know for what. Um, they claim that the cases, right? We should do a little skit. The cases are going down, but yet they're still pushing for the mandates. They're still pushing for people to take the slabber jabber. None of this is making sense. You got the super spreaders. You got the people who don't want to take it. You got the people who had to take it. You got the people who refused to take it. And then in between, you got Fauci going left, right, up, down, south, north, east, and west. And we don't know what's going on. We have no idea what's going on.
Well, check this out. This is irony on top of irony. You had the Supreme Court had basically, from what I understand, had subpoenaed a very notable medical agency or you know um, disease agency, and and when they subpoenaed them about a certain matter, they basically said, "Listen, well, the disease agency said, look, we need this is how they came across. This is how they presented themselves. We need 75 years to get all of this paperwork together to show you the situation, right? So now the judge says, well, they asked if they could be granted 75 years in order to do this. The judge said no. You need to bring this paperwork now, bring it forward so it can be made public, so because the people have a right to know what's going on and why things are the way that they are. You know, this is very, very detailed information that most of us speculate and we talk about and we kind of know in our heart of hearts, but it just hasn't been put out there to be made proof positive. So now the judge says no, and do you know that this particular notable disease agency said, okay, but we're still not going to release this data. So they are actually um, just saying to hell with what the judge says. Now, in what society can an agency override what the judicial system demanded from them? Not asked, not requested, demanded from them in a proper court of law or a court of record. Who does this? And nobody's talking about it. Nobody, well, a lot of people probably don't even know about this situation
They don't know.
because people too worried about everything else. They too distracted. So this is something that is, I had to bring it to y'all attention. I had to really put it out there so y'all would know, because this is something that people need to really, really be questioning and writing letters, making noise, posting their sentiments of this on social media so that others who don't know can be informed. This shit is crazy. I'm trying to figure out what world we live in. We living in bizarro universe right now. So
You can't.
you know what I mean? That was my little rant. We're gonna definitely be talking a little bit in more detail about that, you know. And yeah, there's some more information about doctors. You know, a certain doctor, conducting tests on people who took the slabber jab, people who didn't. And do you know? Now check this out, y'all. Do you know that when the doctor put on his Bluetooth, the people who took the slabber jab came up on this man's Bluetooth? I kid you not.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you should be surprised about that. We've been covering the contact tracing before they even came out with it. We actually gave examples using our phones live, like literally on like just, you know, the COVID situation. And if you walk by someone, you're going to be that tested positive, you would be alerted. What is interesting is if you are one that took the slabber jabber and you test positive, they are going. You still have to go to work if you don't have any symptoms, and and that's about it. They're not going to really do anything with you. It is very very interesting to me. Joe, like this presidency, this administration has definitely showed their hand, and it's unfortunate that we have some people that are blindsided, right? And it just reminds me of the Matrix. This reminds me of what was said in the Matrix. And I actually want to play a clip that I hope it shouldn't, because I guess I'll stop it and pause it. But the Matrix is very interesting. We have people out here who are very conditioned despite the information they have. And because of their conditioning, they become like gatekeepers. They become the agents. And when they become the agents, they're damn near your enemies, because there's no way that Biden could be doing and saying all this and people actually still defend everything that's going on. Not to mention he's having issues with other countries and stuff. But let's listen.
The Matrix is a system, Neo. That system is our enemy. When you're inside, you look around, what do you see? Businessmen, teachers, lawyers, carpenters. The very minds of the people we are...
Yes. So he was letting him know, like specifically the people who that are in the Matrix, and specifically the people who their minds are conditioned, so they're not trying to be saved, and because they're so conditioned on probably unwillingly, not knowing what's going on, they automatically become the gatekeepers for the matrix, for the system. And because of that, because you are aware, because you are conscious of what's really going on, they become your enemy. They become your enemy. And it's unfortunate because this applies to uh, relatives, family members, a lot of people. So we have to be mindful of excuse me, what's going on. We definitely gonna have to be mindful of what's going on. Let me read these articles to you guys because you can't, President Joe Biden, people are still questioning whether or not he's the president. It's like a circus. It is definitely a circus. We're gonna have to stop and pause, but we're gonna listen to some of the bull crap he was saying. Listen to this. So you don't have to like get some articles.
Some of the nation's governors to discuss COVID 19. Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson, the chair of the National Governors Association, spoke to the group via video conference. Every step of the way. Good example is this last week. I asked for encouragement for your team.
I want you to listen to this fool as
We
he.
got to work. We quadrupled the number of pharmacies offering a free test, and there are now more than 20,000 places where you can get tested for free. At many locations, you can book an appointment online in advance to minimize your wait. We've worked with Google, so you can now search COVID test near me on Google to find a location. And now I know the lines have gotten very long in some states. That's why.
And listen to this. You're in the mid-winter, right? And you got these stations that are usually outside. They have a tent that doesn't have any heat. Some of them don't even have a tent. They got people sitting outside, like just with a table in the cold. And basically, they're testing these people. Now you got long lines, and these long lines usually happen every time they mandate a specific agency to take the slabber jabber, or you got to lose your job. Every single time, there's a process that happens that I don't even think people really notice. And it's like now we're gonna see the long lines with the testings because they'll have they're mandated now the city workers, and they're also mandating the NYPD, which I have to really look into that because I haven't really heard any uproar about that. But listen to what he's saying.
Ordered FEMA to set up pop-up sites in places with high demand to shorten the wait. We stood up.
Now you heard him say he ordering FEMA, right? Now you're supposed to have literally a whole bunch of nurses and doctors and so many medical professionals that are able to do that job. Why is he hiring FEMA?
6 new sites in New York City in 5 days.
And remember I told y'all last week, like New York is like the pillar of this whole damn thing. It's just something about New York. Why specifically New York when we have so many other states out here, but New York seems to be like the number one state, the focal point of all of this chaos when it comes to this Rona.
More coming. For over-the-counter at-home tests, as I said, there were none when we took office. None.
So now they have these at-home tests, right? I kid you not. They're sending the tests home to the parents, sending homes with the students to give to the parents, right? So that the parents can test the students. First of all, these look like pregnancy home kits, okay? Literally. So that's number one. The accuracy, I don't even know what is the percent on this. Okay, I feel like that's a good deal because at the end of the day, you don't want your child, you don't know what they're doing in the schools for those who have their children in school, right? But why do they? You know, it's like stressful. They give this same letter to the parents at least once every month for them to voluntarily allow their children to be tested every month. This is in addition to sending the test kit home. This is why I say that if like you an infant can tell that something is going on at this point. Like you don't even have to be the brightest chicken in the room. You gotta just use your common sense and go, something's not right. So why send the testing home if you know that they still want you to volunteer and allow your children to get tested in the school? Beyond me. Beyond me. And then if a certain by discretion of the principal, they're shutting down not the schools now, but the classes. So you still have virtual learning, but this virtual learning is different. It's just some automated stuff. It's automated. So now it's not like a teacher's in the classroom and they're guiding you. You're having a, social dialogue and you're learning something. You just got to follow some little schedule. You know what I'm saying? That's laid out. This is all a psychological thing at this point, and people just got to realize it. Here I go again. I need something to drink with the yawning. So anyway, listen.
Now we have 8 on the market, and just 3 days ago, another test was cleared. We went from no over-the-counter tests in January to 46 million in October, 100 million in November, and almost 200 million in December. But it's not enough. It's clearly not enough.
These Negroes are getting on my nerves year 2. If it's not enough, what else is there? We did the staying at home. Let's literally recap everything from the very beginning in 2019. What was it? March of 2019. We stayed home 3 months in, literally. Okay? The only people that was allowed to go to was essential workers, and they still had to reduce down to 50%. We went from if we'll uplift the sanction, call it a sanction, right? So they opened up the pearly gates and they said they were going to open it up 70%, but we have to wear the mask. So we went from staying at home for 3 months, literally nobody leaving, no one is doing any exercise, no one is doing anything, everything is closed down in the world. Then go to the mask, and then from the mask they wanted us to double mask. Then from the double mask they wanted to test with the PCR. Then from the PCR they went to the vaccines. Then from the vaccines they went to the boosters. Now they back at the testing, and they said that's not enough. Shaka asked a really intelligent question. How many slabber jabbers are you willing to take at this point? How many? You know what? Everyone has their sentiments about this thing or whatever. Hey, because I have listened to the opposition of people speak about why it's beneficial for you to do this, why it's beneficial for you to do that. But these are the same people also saying what's going on and is harmful. Now, I don't know if y'all know, but on the back of Pfizer and on the back of, I believe, Moderna, I know for sure Pfizer, they have to put the side effect now. Now the side effect is your heart inflammation. What is it called? Myocarditis. All right? They had to put that on the back of there, and they didn't have that before. But they're still undermining it and not really speaking about the amount of cases in regards to these heart inflammations that the people are having. They're not saying that at all. At all. Anyway.
But we'd known we would have gone harder, quicker if we could have. Because steps we have to take and increase the number of authorized tests, we're now able to purchase 500 million at-home rapid tests to be sent to the American people for free when they request it. And we're going to continue to use the Defense Production Act to produce as many tests as possible. And starting in 2 weeks, private insurance will reimburse you for the cost of at-home tests. We're providing access to free tests for folks who don't have insurance. But we have to do more. We have to do better. and we will. The third point I'd like to make is more support for your hospitals. On hospitalizations, let me start with this. Because we have had so many vaccinated and boosted, we're not seeing hospitalizations rise as sharply as we did in March of 2020, or even this past fall. America had made progress. Things are better. But we do know that with the rising cases, we still have tens of millions of unvaccinated people, and we're seeing hospitalizations rise. It means our
Tens of millions of unvaccinated.
Hold on.
How many
Hold on.
people did they say that we were vaccinated? We were good. We were up to 70. Man, listen.
Hold on. But did I just hear him say that there wasn't a rise in hospitalization, so it was good, but a line later said that there is a rise in hospitalization?
Let's rewind. That's the beauty of
I'm
recording.
kind of
Listen again.
confused on that.
we have to do more.
Listen.
We have to do better. Will. The third point I'd like to make is more support for your hospitals. On hospitalizations, let me start with this. Because we have had so many vaccinated and boosted, we're not seeing hospitalizations rise as sharply as we did in March of 2020, or even this past fall. America had made progress. Things are better. But we do know that with the rising cases, we still have tens of millions of unvaccinated people, and we're seeing hospitalizations rise. It means our
Y'all gotta read the lines. Y'all gotta read between the lines. I'm smiling right now, like my father would be smiling. Like y'all gotta
I know
read
I
between-
heard what I heard what I thought I heard.
But they do the little twist. He said since March. He puts a month in there. It's done. It's been a little better since March, but then it's still rising. It only can be one or the other. One or the other. Okay? One or the other.
And this is your president in chief, ladies and gentlemen, Sleepy Joe.
Going for 500, please. I'll take that. Let's listen.
Our hospitals in some places are going to get overrun, but in terms of equipment, both in terms of equipment and staff. That's why we stockpiled and pre-positioned millions of gowns, gloves, masks, and ventilators. We're mobilizing an additional 1,000 military doctors and nurses and medics to help staff hospitals.
That's suspect to me, you guys. That military staff for hospitals and National Guards, I don't know. I don't know about that. I
Look,
don't know.
well,
guys could have just kept what y'all had there. What is going on?
My thing is, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? Because if there is no rise in the hospitalization, but there's a rise in the hospitalization, then what are they even there for?
He said there's no
You know what
rise,
I'm saying?
but there is. That's literally what he said. Yo, I am tickling because literally that's what he said. Literally.
Yeah, but who? What do I know? You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah. We got to go back in the archives. We got to go back in the archives, guys. We got to go back. I remember vividly the first person to run with, she was from CNN. I can't remember her name right now. The first person to bring out this Rona situation, and they had actors, crisis actors, standing in a line in the hospital in Queens, starting this, coming up with all these numbers. Listen to this. Listen to this.
FEMA is deploying hundreds of ambulances and EMS crews to transport patients. We've already deployed emergency response teams in Colorado, Michigan, Minnesota, Vermont, New Hampshire, and New Mexico. We're ready to provide more hospital beds as well. The bottom line is we want to assure the American.
What are they preparing for? I want you guys to know that they're in preparation for something.
And some
Remember, this was the beginning of time. Remember all the body bags that we seen, and President Trump said it looked like something out of a third world country or something out of a movie. What are they planning? You heard him say they have hospital beds. The National Guards are now inside of the hospitals. What is going on? And be mindful of the states that he mentioned. Let's listen to this again. Very important. Very important.
Because we have so many vaccinated and boosted, we're not seeing hospitalizations rise as sharply as we did in March of 2020 or even this past fall. America had made progress. Things are better. But we do know that with the rising cases, we still have tens of millions of unvaccinated people, and we're seeing hospitalizations rise. It means our hospitals in some places are going to get overrun, but in terms of equipment, both in terms of equipment and staff. That's why we stockpiled and pre-positioned millions of gowns, gloves, masks, and ventilators. We're mobilizing an additional 1,000 military doctors and nurses and medics to help staff hospitals. FEMA is deploying hundreds of ambulances and EMS crews to transport patients. We've already deployed emergency response teams in Colorado, Michigan, Minnesota, Vermont, New Hampshire, and New Mexico. We're ready to provide more hospital beds as well. The bottom line is we want to assure the American people that we're prepared. We know what it takes.
Prepare for
And
what?
as this group of bipartisan governors has shown,
Yeah.
we're going to get through it by working together. I want to thank the governors for their partnership, and I mean that sincerely. With that, I'm going to turn it back over to Jeff, and I understand you guys may have some questions.
Mm, mm, mm.
Jeff?
What are the questions?
Good. I think we're gonna clear the press.
Let me explain to you. And their press, oh, everything is orchestrated. Like you can't. They have certain people to come up and ask the questions and stuff. Listen to this.
President, do you support the minimizing of the quarantine period, 10 days to 5, as airline groups have recommended?
Thanks, guys. Thank my weekend out, Indoor. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
So they're not answering any questions. They're not answering. So they said, we're gonna. He say he's gonna wait for some questions, and then the next thing you know, they're asking questions and no answers. I rest my case, man. I rest my case. I'm just grateful for the mindset that I have and how I can be able to see things for what they really and truly are because we're here in the matrix. Sometimes you could overlook certain things or misinterpret or misjudge for the most part, but I'm pretty content where I'm at and my understanding of what the hell is going on. The only thing I can continue to say is, like we said in some the previous shows, is just be in preparation. Make sure that you stock up on your foods. Make sure you practice hydroponics. I had a conversation with someone and they were saying like there's only 10% left of water in the world. I don't know how accurate that is. That's some research that I'm going to have to dig a little bit deeper into. But if so, we're going to have to try to find ways to collect water, filter it, and do a lot of other things. Don't put your guards down. Don't put your guards down. Even if things do seem like they're working at a certain pace or working or back to normal, don't take anything for don't take anything lightly. Is what I'm trying to say. The National Guards coming in, being deployed in, and coming in to help may seem like an innocent thing, but with all that they're doing, talking about more hospital beds, doing a whole bunch of stuff, it just gives me the idea that they are expecting something. They are expecting something and preparing for it. So I want to know you guys' thoughts about it all. What is your sentiments about it? Shaka? Let's see what the chat is talking about.
We living in the twilight zone, y'all. That's really what I got to say about that because
To the
These
Twilight
people
Zone.
knew about this situation before this administration came in. So they had a front row seat to what was going on and had ample time to put a plan of attack in that basically could have just dealt with the matter like day one. They dropped the ball. They was worried about people coming across the border and all. No, letting people across the border and all of that. And then by the time they got to it, they said, "Oh, we still got to deal with this." They had no plan. They had no real solution to the matter. So they wound up implementing the previous administration's policies to try to deal with it after they tried to criticize it just a year before. This is the Twilight Zone. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na.
Take notes of that. Take notes of that. It doesn't all add up. And like I said, you've seen the sequence of events that has happened, and it's like at this point, how do you feel about it? Do you feel like you just want to continue? What are your sentiments? Because obviously they don't. They either know what they're doing and it's intentional, it's malice, or they don't know what the hell they're doing and they don't want to admit it. So you choose A or B. Which one? But either way, it's not good. Period. Period. Pooh. Can we see what the chat is talking about? All right, and according to the Shade Room, the U.S. Army will immediately be
Big ups to the
discharging.
chat. Big ups to the chat.
Big ups, discharging soldiers that are refusing to take the slapper jabber.
Ooh.
He's hilarious. They're refusing.
Motherfuckers is crazy. Yo. After all of this shit, after all of what they insisted upon people do that really didn't work. They people pulling back, and now you got this one little group that's trying to move forward. Like, it's crazy because you have all of these different. See, this is what happened. This administration, they couldn't, they couldn't, they couldn't rock with one of the other. Trying to figure out how to say it. It's an administration for food. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't really going for it. They were like, look, we don't have enough data. You ain't giving us enough information for us to let this thing go like that, right? So they said, okay, since y'all not trying to get down with the get down, we're gonna turn around and go over here to OSHA, because OSHA is, they have a certain level of authority over millions of workers in a lot of different fields. So keep that in mind. So now they said, OSHA, we need y'all to get in on this. We need y'all to implement this. We're going to run this. We're going to run this strategy through you. Now, if it was lawful and in harmony with that that contract that they, swore to uphold, the Constitution, then don't you think that the normal steps that would be provided or in your availability to do so, you can go through those necessary steps and still bring something to the public, even if they don't agree with it, an alternative to what was going on, an option, rather. Excuse me.
Sorry.
Oh, I thought you were trying to say something.
Mm.
So now they try to, you could have went through these necessary steps to do this, but they didn't, which means that there was some underlining bullshit that was in play that they were like, look, all we got to do is put this game together, get these people, you know what I'm saying, on board, complying, and all of that. And next thing you know, when all of the real stuff starts to come, like, for instance, if somebody were to come with a real circumstantial case or circumstantial um, um, voice with proof positive data to back it up, a lot of this can get shot down. But guess what? 85% of this country has already complied. So if 85% of this country has complied, when the threshold was really at 70%, then what's the big idea with just trying to get? Look, they're even saying now that they're looking to get approval, emergency use authorization for children up to as low as 5 months old. 5 months old, they want to start pumping this stuff in the children. Is it really necessary? I mean, I'm asking y'all, is it really necessary?
For them, it is.
I'm asking the chat. Is it really necessary for any newborn soul that comes into this plane be exposed to this level of 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 insistence? Let me just say it like that. Of insistence, because they're insisting this. So it's almost like you have a choice, but you don't really have a choice. So what's really good? You know. But yo, let me ask y'all
I
this.
sent you the Whoopi Goldberg's situation. You can read that whenever you're ready.
Yo, check this out, yo. Y'all know that the brat and her girlfriend are expecting their first child?
Who?
The brat and her girlfriend.
I want to say Rihanna. Don't talk about
No,
her.
I ain't talking about Rihanna. Rihanna's from my home country. But
She's from your home country.
yeah, Barbados.
Okay.
So
Bayesian.
my thing is,
You think he's so cute? He Bayesian. Go ahead.
who shot up what club? Which one? Who did the shooting in whose club?
In vitro and whatever.
Look, I in vitro, spaghettio. I'm saying, who shut up the club? Who's the, you know what I'm
That's
saying?
nothing to really talk
What's
about.
really-
They went
Nah,
and got
I'm
them a
just
sperm
saying.
donor, and obviously,
Did they at least
could-
let the sperm donor just feel like he was
he shot up
involved
the
with
club?
it? Did they give him let him do some target practice, since it would be the only time it would happen?
I don't know. Do y'all think that? I mean, I take all relationships seriously. Really, honestly, I really do. Like whatever.
I'm not even
rocks your
speaking
boat.
on their
But do
relationship.
y'all
That's
feel
what
like
it
they
is.
don't?
I mean,
Do
I
they?
mean,
You,
I
do
ain't
you
even
think
talking
they
about
like
that.
they have?
You're talking
the
about who shot the
urge?
club up.
Nobody. Anonymous person shot the club up. If he actually really shot the club, he shot the club up, whether it was physical or not, because his sperm was inserted and they're expected. Moving forward, Janet Jackson documentary. Lord, who's seen Janet Jackson?
Now, does anybody even care about
documentary.
that damn documentary? Do y'all really care about Janet Jackson and this shit?
Well, read what they're
her
saying.
shit.
Do y'all care? Do y'all really care? Read what they saying. Janet Jackson, a very private person, decides to come out and do a documentary. She had a lot of celebrities give their intake on their relationships with her. Jermaine Dupri being one of the people she was married
The whole game.
to. Now you remember.
She's for the streets.
Now you remember
She's
Janet.
for the streets, y'all.
Janet was
Janet is
allegedly
community.
had a baby, a daughter, a long time ago.
Janet is community.
She's not no community. What you talking about? She for the streets. What are you talking about? However, the documentary, the little snippets that I did see seemed very juicy. There was controversy around her telling the truth in regards to her having a child long time ago. Her mother did a little snippet feature on there in regards to how, if she wanted to speak about her son Michael, she seemed very heartbroken about it. She was very close to, as far as all of her siblings, very close to, I think it was Tito and Michael. She visited their, home, their first home they had, when they began to. Where they started off at. She has little memory of that home because they already had left and got their millions when she was a baby. Beyonce's dad took to social
Community.
media to comment on it because it appears that they hired their father and all that he did because if it wasn't for him, and I believe they mentioned it more than once, if it wasn't for Joe Jackson and his strictness, his understanding for business and marketing and pushing his children to become something, they wouldn't have gotten to where they were. So it's possibly that, because I didn't watch it. So, but I'm just reading according to what Beyonce's father, Matthew Knowles, had wrote on social media in regards to the documentary. I guess he wanted to, I guess he could relate. He could relate to being the person in the forefront of their children's careers. I do notice that some of the greats, a lot of the greats, whether they're athletes, whether they're actors, whether they're artists, entertainers, a lot of the greats, I must say, had a parent. More than likely, I think I've seen more men than females pushing them and dedicating themselves to get them to where they need to in the height of their to get them to the career they're in, and thus leading them to the heights of where they're at right now. So shout out to all the dads, shout out to all the moms who see talent in their children, who are not forcing or pushing their children to do something that they don't want to do, but if they do choose to do it, encouraging them and being there and taking it all the way. Shout out to you guys. But that's neither here nor there. It seems like he's not interested in the Janet Jackson documentary. I'm going to watch it. I'm definitely going to watch it. It seems juicy. It seems informative, especially for someone who has been very private, extremely private. So there's excitement there for all of us who are fans to kind of like see the gaps that need to be filled in my mind, because we nothing but assumption and assumption. Someone took to social media who clearly says that there is a child. She did have a child, but once again, they're not coming forth with that. Do you want to read the Whoopi Goldberg situation with the statement that she and is now suspended?
Yeah, let's
Now
get into that.
suspended.
Let's get into that because I want to know what the hell is on her mind. What is on her mind? All right, check this out. Now, All right. So y'all tell me, is this something that is even a suspendable offense? It says, according to one of the mainstream media, it says Whoopi Goldberg suspended from The View after saying the Holocaust was not about race. Whoopi Goldberg has been suspended from ABC's The View for 2 weeks after she came under fire for saying the Holocaust was not about race. Effective immediately, I am suspending Whoopi Goldberg for 2 weeks for her wrong and harmful comments. ABC president, uh, ABC News president Kim Godwin. I wonder what nationality she is. Um, said in a Tuesday said Tuesday in a statement, while Whoopi has apologized, I've asked her to take some time to reflect and learn about the impact of her comments.
This is what happened in
The
Nick Cannon.
entire ABC News organization stands in solidarity with our Jewish colleagues, friends, family, and communities. That must be the only people they stand with. They're not standing with anybody melanated, and you can know that by their actions. All right, but I digress. Goldberg made the comment during Monday's episode of the talk show as she and other hosts were discussing how the Holocaust-centered graphic novel Mouse was banned by a Tennessee school board, becoming just the latest on a lengthy list of banned books in the U.S. The Pulitzer Prize-winning book is about the author and his father, Holocaust survivor, I'm not giving a name, and the genocide's impact on their relationship. The Tennessee school board banned the book, Goldberg said, because there were complaints about the novel containing nudity and bad language. Quote, personally, I'm shocked because given the story of Mouse, I'm surprised that that was made. I'm surprised that that's what made you uncomfortable. In fact, that there was some nudity. It's about the Holocaust, the killing of 6 million people. End quote. As the host continued to discuss the banning of certain books, critical race theory, and other hot-button education issues, Goldberg circled back. She said, hold up. Y'all about to get this smoke. If you're going to do this, then let's be truthful about it, because the Holocaust isn't about race, she said. The other hosts paused before appearing to start to counter her argument when Goldberg continued. So I ain't going to really get on. I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to read any more about it. But think about because this is really my first time really examining how, the way this thing came about. So they were talking about a book about a Holocaust survivor and his son, or his father. They were kind of past that, you know what I'm saying? Because all they got to do is talk about, just say certain things and everybody's jumping on it. But Whoopi decided to go, hold on. We wasn't really dealing with this topic long enough. Because it was really about the fact that there was nudity and bad language in this novel, but Whoopi went and kind of like switched the game up, said it wasn't about race. Now, keep in mind, y'all, you have somebody who is a dictator who's not really who he say he is, supposedly, from what has been taught and what has been told and what is said we're to believe, is out there exterminating another group of people who are not who they think they are or who they say they are. They're not really who they say they are. You know what I'm saying? So everybody confused. This is just a mixed up party here. Like everybody just walking around dancing and bumping into each other and nobody knows who's who. You know what I'm saying? So is it really, really out of pocket that she said that? Or is it really, really disturbing to people who she was speaking about? Because Whoopi ain't no fool. She ain't no fool about these things.
She slipped up.
Right. See, there you go. She slipped up and said something that was really, really real that they didn't want people to know about.
They didn't want them to know about.
You
When
know
I
what
get
I'm
up
saying?
there, I don't want to be a celebrity. I'm going to open up these bank accounts, making
All right.
moves, and I don't want to be a celebrity because you're not. It's like you have a gag on you. You have a gag order. You can't say anything.
Right. You're not living by your own tenets.
Your own thoughts.
You can't
Your own beliefs.
voice you can't really voice yourself and do much of anything because you're a puppet. You're a puppet, so you really don't have any say so in what you think and what you do. So is that the type of fame you want? Is that the type of notoriety you want? Because look at what happened. Just several months back, the baby said some slick shit on and they was calling for this nigga head. You know what I'm saying? They was saying this nigga canceled. He canceled. Your man Dave Chappelle telling jokes. Now niggas they know this nigga's a comedian, so it might have 90% of the shit that come out of his mouth is gonna be a fucking joke. They try to cancel that man. You know what I'm saying? So where we living at where a motherfucker can't say what's on his mind, even if he sounds stupid. All you gotta say, nigga, you sound stupid. And keep it pushing. Niggas want to try to cancel people, want to stop people's money flow, and all that. So, you really want to be famous? You really want that type of notoriety that's going to garner that type of control over your whole fucking life? That's what you want to do? Because I guarantee you, your favorite actor, actress, entertainer, sports player, whoever, you know what I'm saying? Them motherfuckers is puppets. You know what I'm saying? And they can't say what's really on their mind. They can't do what's really in their heart. They can't even perform what is really their true intent. So what's really good? But back to this other shit, man. I'm telling you, I want to know who shot the club up with the brat and her girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. I need to know who shot the club up. I don't want to hear about no in vitro fertilization or anything like that. I don't want to hear about none of that. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all jumping for joy like one of y'all motherfuckers is walking around with sperm. Like with sperm inside of you. Which one of y'all is it? Okay. shout out to the chat. Y'all definitely voicing y'all opinion on this craziness. Yeah, yeah. Wiz said she definitely slipped up. Pasha said, "What did Whoop say that was so wrong?" See, that's what I'm trying to understand. But you got to think about it. Whoopi is someone who is in a different circle. So she knows people who knows things, or she herself knows things. Because remember, when Whoopi first came into the scene as a circuit comedian, she was kind of out there. She was kind of like on a soapbox, talking her talk. And the more and more she got, into Hollywood and doing movies, the more and more, she took that wolf outfit off and just had this sheep fur under it. Yeah, yeah. Whoopi Goldberg is a Jewish name. I mean, well, Goldberg is a Jewish name, or it's a name that you know the Yiddish and the Ashkenazi um, people like to use. It's like another alias. It's an alias. So you know, someone with the name Goldberg. I don't care what she looked like, but you would think that it wouldn't be so crazy for her to say kind of what she said and not be remanded for it. And Crazy World said they under contract. You damn right. They under a different kind of contract. So these people are really, really, really walking around with their hands and legs tied. They hog tied while they perform and do what they do. So, it's funny that this information is out there like that. But it's cool. You know what I'm saying? She'll be alright. She'll be alright at some point.
Well, that's the same thing that happened to Nick Cannon. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah,
It
you
happened.
really can't. If you think you got a voice, even with some money, you're out of your mind.
And they're always there to remind you of it. To stay in your in your place and be the puppet that we and be the puppet that we trained you to be. And in any event that you get out of order, we're gonna give you a few taps. If you don't receive that or don't agree to that, then we're gonna take it to the next level. And the next level usually is not a good one. Point blank and hit and period. What is the chat talking about? You just mentioned what the chat was talking about. Okay, that's what you was talking about. What the chat was talking about. Because when the chat talking, then you're not. On celebrity gossip time, Kanye West has yet making the headlines. He is losing his mind. The MK Ultra has taken over, and we don't know what's going on. Kim is just keeping silent, and I'm just wondering, is this all? What are these marketing situations now? I find that hard to believe. They have so much money, they don't need to play those games anymore. So I want to know your thoughts on this. I know men can easily get in their sentiments and it's like, oh, she got to let him see the kids, and vice versa. I don't know if he's in his right state of mind. He if y'all don't know, and I don't know too much about it, but on the back end, picked up and moved from California and went to Wyoming. So she wasn't getting no D from him. She was trying to compromise, flying out there, flying the kids out there just to see him. Although he felt uncomfortable in his home because he went on Drink Champs and was explaining that some of these nannies and some of these people that are in the homes are what he called plants. They're there to watch them. And maybe he expressed this to her and she didn't want to, go about it a different way, which led him to leave. I mean, at the end of the day, she got to have someone to assist and watch her children clean her home. They have a very big home that she definitely can't clean herself. And she's working and he's working, so you definitely need a few nannies, a couple of assistants, and so forth and so on to keep things flowing. So I just want to know, like, what did he offer her something, you know, and she just didn't want to take that route, which would have still been good for her, or I don't know. Maybe he didn't have any say in the screening when it came to the nannies. I don't know, but my prayers are up for him right now. He I don't know. He seem okay, but then he don't seem okay. But one thing is for sure, he's focused on his music. He's collabing with a lot of people that, I'm surprised that he would be collabing with, but he's doing it. I wish him well. I wish him well for his with his children too. Definitely want to do that. Now Nick Cannon literally got his, I believe, eighth baby mama pregnant. Oh no, his eighth child. He's having his eighth child. I don't know what number of baby mamas it is, but he once again is doing this subliminal bull crap. At one point, he said, I think he spoke to his therapist or something like that, and said that he needs to be celibate for a little while. But then he's also on the other end said, don't get it twisted. I'm gonna have as many children that I can possibly have. So I don't know what that means. But what are your sentiments about him having babies? Um, as with all these different women and literally simultaneous in some certain situations. Like, what do you think about that? I mean, obviously, it takes two to care for a child. It takes a village to care for a child. But at the same time, the living arrangements, the times that you actually have to with the child. Like, how do you feel about it? Do you feel like people need to mind their damn business and it's not really a big deal, or do you feel like it is a big deal for him to be going about it? What is your commentary for him to be going about it the way that he is? What's your commentary on that? Let's see what the chat is talking about. Super Bowl is coming up, and I want to know who gives a Brock. All-Star Weekend is right after. Take your beers and go and strut. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 is on it. Shaka.
Yeah.
What is the chat talking about?
Pasha says, what y'all think about the $11.7 million gold cube in Central Park? Which I had no clue it existed. I thought I did, but I'm not sure. Then Myron says, why have all these children and not be a dad? Then Pasha says, Kanye, collaboration, I would like to know why you jerk my girl Tiana Taylor around. She is raw, authentic talent, and you didn't keep word to her. Well, Kanye, at a certain point, and damn, excuse me, y'all, my mic wasn't on. I don't know if y'all heard most of what I said, but I was repeating what the chat was typing in, and speaking to Pasha's comment on Kanye collaboration and how he appeared to jerk Tiana Taylor around. Kanye got to a point where he wanted to do some of the same things and be on that level that a Jay or a Diddy was on. So you really can't, you know, really be on that level unless you are fucking people over on that level. So he was just trying to, kind of show, oh, I could do it too. I'm on that level. Look at what I'm doing. Look, these people trying to get their record out. I ain't doing it. Ha, ha. These people trying to get their word out there, and I ain't letting them do it. So that's really what he was on. Byron says a biological father is not the same as being a dad.
Right, but what are some of the qualities you need in order to be considered a dad, though? Like, what do you need to do in order to be considered a dad? Because maybe he's doing it.
Maybe who's doing it?
Nick Cannon asked him about their sentiments in regards to him fathering yet another, being a father. Yet I believe this would be his eighth child, and I don't know if this is the fourth or fifth baby mama, should I say? Um, what are the qualifications?
Is that
That
really
you
a big
consider
deal
being a dad?
when most of our ancestors had a lot of children? You know, now I understand the point where he's having children with more than one woman like that, but maybe some of these women just don't want to go through having the children more than once, except for Mariah, I guess. Who knows?
Well, you said they don't want to.
They don't want to deal with the pain of having more children, the labor aspect, the labor
So
part.
they're just having the one with him.
They're having the one with him because they want themselves, they themselves want a come up. They want to be secure. Remember, women like security. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with that,
Insecurity
but
in
it's
what
just
way?
I don't know. You have to ask them. I don't know. Because it's the thing is, most of these women know that he has children with other women. You know,
I want to know, what
so
their conversation be like, cause
what is
very
this all about?
interesting.
What is
That's
it all
very
about?
interesting.
All right, I think I know who this is. Deja Ellington. Are those melanated sisters Nick rocking with or foreign ones? Is the question.
That is a very,
I
very
think
good
most of
question.
them are either
They're mixed.
yeah, they either mix.
I don't see
You
not
know,
one person up there that is, and forgive me because we come in all different shades, so I don't really believe in this colorism, but I must say that they
his
are
preference
not
doesn't
fully
seem to be
right. It seems
anything
like you have a
that's of
preference.
the mocha.
No,
You know what I'm
nothing of
saying?
the mocha, nothing of that sort, and that right there also is a red flag for me. In particular, I uh, it's hard for me to give my commentary or in regards to the multiple women. If everyone, my number one philosophy is if you like it, I love it. You know what I'm saying? So obviously there are arrangements, but there is so much financial you can do. You have to. It's more than just financial when taking care of a child or children, and we all know that, right? So
The
is he
child needs
really
attention. The child
right?
needs nurturing.
Right.
The child needs instruction. The child needs to be taught discipline. These are the things that are going to be lasting memories, good and bad, when it comes to a child and their parents.
Right. And so the question is, um, able to provide all of that, and are they willing to work together? Because obviously they're all living in different places in all walks of life. So how are they able to do that? And don't get me wrong, some of them gotta. I don't think Nick, after the eighth child, as far as money is concerned, I don't know where his financial bracket is at, but I don't see him making that much money to just be going out and birthing everything, flying out. These women also have some sort of social media influence and making their own money in some way, shape, or form. So I want to know what type of agreements are they coming up with to even, agree with this. But most and foremost, why, Nick? Why don't you? Why aren't you choosing? Why out of all those women, why aren't you choosing women like that are melanated? Now, don't miss me with that. Everyone has their preference. Why isn't his preference like his grandmother? Because I've seen the picture of his grandmother. I don't know about his mother. Why isn't his preference like him and the melanated sisters? Miss me with that. Miss me with that.
Very interesting. Very, very interesting. So, yeah, your boy Nick out there shooting clubs up like it is a sport.
Right, and remind you, one of his children passed away recently. So it's very interesting for him to go through all that pain and suffering with losing a child, and him to just pick up and start donating the sperm again. I don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand it. To be continued on that end, because only one person knows. Only. Now I gotta go back to this documentary with Janet Jackson. I am so interested in this documentary. I really want to see it because, for those who are Janet fans and want a little bit of insight of what possibly went on behind the scenes, this documentary would be the one to go to. But the thing is, they could, they're going to film it and edit it from, the perspective they want you to see it from. So I don't know. I don't know.
And that makes two of us. I don't know either.
I don't know. I don't know. Only thing I know is that these people are mandating something about some Rona and it ain't making no sense. That's what I'm certain about. It ain't making no sense at all.
Yeah.
All right, you want to read what the chat is talking about? We're about to close up pretty soon. We appreciate you guys rocking with us. Um, uh, we're working.
All right.
We're working. We're
Where it
working.
says Nick Cannon is a trust fund baby from a family of millionaires. Deja says him and Future on the same team. Pasha said no comments on the $11 million gold cube in Central Park.
Pasha, listen.
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
know about it. I don't know what that shit
I
is.
seen the gold cube. He got it on the ice and all this stuff. Listen to me.
I'm gonna pull it
I
up.
don't
I'm
know.
gonna pull it
So
up.
they leaving it, no security, no nothing. I don't know about all of that. I don't know if it's real gold. I think it's a setup, psyop. It's a setup. Not a psyop. Setup. It's a setup, and I don't trust it. They just waiting for some. They waiting for, how to say, I wish a nigga would. They just waiting for someone to walk, touch that thing inside the
And they going to another
Is a way
dimension.
to set us up because we so hooked on the Rona topics. We're not really getting, the crime rates are not going up. So as soon as you walk over there, that's when they want to, come and arrest you. Um, they're doing stupid things in the midst of in the midst of the chaos, in the midst of the depression that people are going through. So I don't know, but I may take a walk down there. I'm not far. I'm not far. I don't know where they get those numbers from either. 11.7. Only we don't know.
Well, I'm going to tell you where they're getting it from. It says that possesses the cube possesses pure 24 karat gold. Mhm. Yep. Pure 24 karat gold.
What did it say about the NYPD? Go back up. Go.
The cube composed of 186 kilograms of pure 24 karat gold was rolled out in front of a snowy Naumburg bandshell at 5 a.m. in the morning, surrounded by photographers and NYPD officers. So they were just on deck.
Exactly, of course, as I stated.
Artist Nicholas Costello and wife Sylvie, yeah, they different. So the hollow gold block is the creation of 43-year-old German artist Costello, who has branded it the Costello Cube. The 410-pound work is not for sale, but was used as publicity for the launch of accompanying cryptocurrency, the Costello coin,
Cryptocurrency.
with gold currently at priced at 17.88 per ounce, is worth up to $11.7 million if it were to be put up for sale. So that's how they got the number. It's the weight and how much it is by the weight. It was reportedly cast. No, hold up. Costello's team told ArtNet that the cube was made in a foundry in Aarau, Switzerland. It was reportedly cast using a special handmade kilt, as the sheer size and volume of the gold being used requires extreme melting temperatures. In order for all the gold to be melted, the kiln needed to reach a temperature of over 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. So this is how they had to melt this massive amount of gold and put it into the shape of a cube. So that's how it's going.
Is the cube still there? When the press play, and is the cube still there? Like, I doubt it.
I don't know. Yeah, it's still there. This story is as of
So,
February 3rd.
All right, Pasha, let's roll up, man.
This
let's
is
go.
today.
Let's go take a look at the cube. Let's go take a look at the cube. Make sure you bring some tools to chip some things off. All right, I'll meet you down there.
Do y'all think there was some kind of metaphysical undertone to just dropping a cube in the middle of nowhere?
Right.
A big ass cube, and it's not for sale. You got the husband and his little wife just out there grinning from ear to ear because
Done.
don't nobody know what the hell this shit is here and why it's here. They just see it and that shit look shiny.
Well, what the chat is talking
about? Pasha says, I understand that Kanye knows what he is doing, but one must understand that when one gives their word in or with something and they do not keep it, that there is a reason why. They have to then they have to ask for help too. we all have to be mindful of all that we do and how we treat everyone. Our Creator sees all and will deal with us accordingly.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah,
I don't know how the creator gonna deal with us when we go to Central Park, but look, it is what it is. They put it down there, so let's see what's up, right? Um, Maybe it's there for all to view and take a piece from. I don't know, and I don't think that they have cops guarding that 24/7. That's why I say it's a setup. I don't know. But needless to say, anyway, man, thank you guys for coming up on the House of Harlem studio,
yeah, yeah,
chopping it up with us,
yeah.
giving us commentary about all the shenanigans that's happening. And thank you for all those on the other end who are working with us to build wealth. This year is going to be an amazing year. It's going to be an amazing year for me, connecting with like the right people, and I'm grateful. So on that note, let Mr. Bay um, close out.
Yeah. Oh, you already saw it. Pasha said she already checked it out. Is it real to you? Does it look like real gold, or do it look like something that was spray painted? Because on the pictures, it looked like a spray painted box. You know what I'm saying? It's looked like a spray painted U-Haul box. So, help me out with that one, because I don't know. You know, but get with us next week. We're gonna do what we do, the way we know, the best way we know how. We appreciate everybody for jumping on. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend to tell their enemy that House of Harlem is in the building, and we are giving out that smoke. You know what I'm saying? We're giving out that smoke. So there's no story out here in cyberspace that's safe. So make sure you put your best foot forward. Keep your mind quiet and clear. Move in peace and harmony. Make sure you're doing the things that your heart tells you to do. And you will not lose. I appreciate everybody for being on. Get with us on Sunday. I'm going to start posting some links to the Sunday build for people who wish to be on the build. I'm going to be sure to have that information readily available, because we have a lot to talk about, and we can definitely talk about it in detail, until we blue in the face on our private call. So until next week, I appreciate y'all. Y'all be careful out there, and we're gonna take y'all out with a word from our sponsor. Shout out to Carbon Juice Lounge. If you are in the Harlem area, pull up, come get you, a COVID killer shot. And come get you a nice smoothie or a nice treat, so you can be complete. So, and yeah, we're in the heart of East Harlem. So pull up. I see y'all. The people that know, the people that's about that life, I see y'all on Sunday. And y'all be good. I'm out.